Well, we just can't seem to get away from the H3 of it all, folks. And this one's about AB. AB posted a video to his Star Killer channel titled Update. Now, this video has caused a little bit of a stir due to a specific point in the video and good old Bad Empanada getting online and doing his thing. For context, here is the part of the video that has got people talking.
I wish her well. And the next time I see a clip of you, you're just saying, fuck my mom. But hey, good job. You're doing a good job, man. You're doing a good job. You know, I'm sure Zionists love you. I'm sure they love you as an example of us Arabs being fucking barbaric. As every fucking person on the internet, every person in the world wants to prove that we're nothing but fucking barbaric animals. You're doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job. I will continue to defend you and try to steer away from that narrative. You're welcome.
And because of what AB said here, Bad Empanada would make a post on YouTube saying that AB called anti-genocide Arabs barbaric Arabs, which then led AB to respond with this.
In the video, I said that no matter how much nasty shit Mel House says about me, I will continue to defend him from the false narrative of the world, which is us Arabs are barbaric animals. But again, these
I'm gonna play for you one more time what AB did actually say in his video.
I wish her well. And the next time I see a clip of you, you're just saying, fuck my mom. But hey, good job. You're doing a good job, man. You're doing a good job. You know, I'm sure Zionists love you. I'm sure they love you as an example of us Arabs being fucking barbaric. As every fucking person on the internet, every person in the world wants to prove that we're nothing but fucking barbaric animals. You're doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job. I will continue to defend you and try to steer away from that narrative. You're welcome.
So, did AB call anti-genocide Arabs barbaric Arabs? No, I don't think he did. I don't think he implied that. What AB did say, though, was that Anthony's behavior towards AB is playing into a stereotype, a obviously false stereotype, of the scary barbaric Arab. The real problem with what AB said is that he chastises Anthony and his behavior through the lens of Zionists who would already have a racist and unfavorable view of Anthony to begin with. The idea of a minority playing into a stereotype is a rather silly one. Let's think about what he's saying here for a second. He implies that the Zionists are happy because of the way Anthony is behaving and that he is playing into a stereotype. This completely puts the onus on Anthony and his behavior rather than looking at the people who are projecting said stereotype onto Anthony, projecting a racist stereotype onto Anthony. The problem here is people who assume Arabs are barbaric, not Arabs who may say or do something that Zionists consider to be harsh. But if you automatically interpret that as barbaric, then you were coming at this from a racist point of view to begin with. So, personally, I'm not a fan of how much AB wanted to scold Anthony here, when ultimately, this is something that wouldn't really be Anthony's fault. If Zionists are projecting onto Anthony a violent stereotype, that is on them. That is not on Anthony. And for AB to sit there and give any sort of validity to the view of racist Zionists, it simply tells me a lot about where he's coming from in all of this. I don't think AB is a bad person, but I do think he may perhaps have a lot of things he needs to unpack and a lot of things he needs to learn. But that is just my little opinion, I guess. And that takes us to the last thing I wanted to talk about in this video. This is from AB's response video to Bad Empanada.
my stream, my social media accounts, I have been posting about Palestine nonstop. That is what I own. I don't know if you guys know that. I don't know if you guys know that. I know you guys want me to be homeless. Listen, again, and I've said this before, even if you accept your idea of what's going on, and where I work. Do you guys not understand that I'm not a doctor? I can't just transfer to another hospital. Do you guys understand that? Again, I'm not even saying I want to leave my job or anything like that. I'm just saying, do you guys not understand that? Would it be more helpful if I'm homeless? Would that help? Would that help the cause? You want me to go stand on Skid Row with the fucking, you want me to take my Palestinian flag and say free Palestine? Then I could hold my head high? Then you'll be happy?
You're offsetting that 2-hour stream that you're doing with 9 hours of fucking work for fucking like a Zionist entity at this point, AB. Like, you have to make a choice, my man. You have to make a choice. You can't play both sides.
I've made the choice to stay with people who treat me like a human being. That's my choice. That's what I've decided.
Now, I have gone back and forth quite a bit on the topic of should the crew stay or should the crew go? And every time I seem to land firmly in the crew should leave camp. No, AB, nobody wants you to be homeless. Nobody thinks you're a doctor who can just transfer to another hospital or whatever. I obviously don't know AB's living situation. I don't know his expenses. I don't know how much he spends at the end of the month. You know, I don't know what he needs to sustain himself. But it is interesting to me how AB seems to think the only two options here are working for Ethan Klein or being homeless. Surely there is something in between. He ultimately seems to think that we should want him to stay so that he can push back against Ethan. If that is the choice he is going to make, then I hope that that is what he actually does. I don't personally think that the amount of pushback he has given Ethan has been sufficient or effective. We have seen how Ethan responds to pushback from his crew. He does not take the criticism well. So once again, I land back in the camp of the crew should leave. I say let him try and find replacements. The crew has always been the better part of the podcast. And I do think that they could all have fairly successful careers on their own. I think that ultimately, Ethan needs them way more than they need him. But that is it. That is all I have for you today. If you liked this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below. Do you think the crew needs to leave? Do you think that there is any point in them staying and trying to push back against Ethan's rhetoric? I personally think it's a lost cause. You can check out my other videos. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything else I put out and help my little channel grow here. We have fun here. I'm just vibing. It's a time to be alive, boys. It's a time to be alive. Got some links down below. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Alright, that's it. I will see you guys later, and thank you for watching once again, and goodbye.